I'm Amy, this is The Opinionated Woman, and welcome to another floor chat. I haven't done a floor chat in a hot second, but I put up a vlog yesterday and I got a comment from Aurelia. Thank you, Aurelia. I am making a video for you and for everyone else because I thought it might be beneficial. So if you watch my vlogs at all, I do mention that I struggle with stress dreams from PTSD. And what Aurelia asked me was, what is the difference between, like, how do you know you're having a dream based on PTSD, and how do you know that if you're just having a nightmare? So I did also talk to my therapist about this, just to get a clearer idea of what a professional thinks about these things. So he said that, and if anybody needs to know, PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder. You can get this from all kinds of events, and I think a lot of the time it's associated with, like wartime and things like that. But literally, it can be like childhood trauma, it can be an emotionally abusive relationship, it can be from like a hijacking, or what would they say overseas sometimes, a carjacking, something like that. So what he did say is that when there are multiple traumas experienced over time, it can get a little bit more in the gray area of how you experience these dreams. So when you have a PTSD dream, like it would be during the day having flashbacks, you are re-experiencing the trauma. And if you've had multiple different traumas in your life, it starts to get a little bit more gray. So it could be anything from as literal as you reliving that car crash that you experienced within the dream, or it could be feeling, which is in my case, in the same feeling the same emotions that you got from that time. So for example, my stress dreams, I have a sleep tracker, and I will go anywhere from, I have a busy dream with no memory of what happened, good dreams, no dreams, busy with a memory of what happened, a nightmare with no memory, and a nightmare with memory. So obviously this is like the top tier big guy right here. So those all depend on the subject matter. So most of the time my dreams are very, very busy and very, very like moving. So I don't ever have a moment of pause, like a moment where I can just breathe. Where normal people sleep, they have a rest. I don't get that. I don't get the chance to have a rest. I just am constantly basically in some kind of busy mind situation. So I get stuck a lot in stuck. So being stuck, like these trauma dreams will have a lot of repetition in them, or from my experience. Obviously this is just my experience of stress dreams and like experiencing PTSD. Everybody's trauma is different, therefore everybody's experience will be different with that trauma. But in both of the situations that I put up as the big areas of trauma in my life, I had a feeling of being stuck, that I couldn't escape, that there's nothing that I could do about it, that it was almost, inescapable. It was inexplicable that I would be able to exit myself from the situation. And sometimes I will get that where in my dream I will know I need to get from A to B, and there will be all these things in the way of me getting from A to B, and I will be trying to get there and trying to do what I need to do, what I know that I need to do, and something is always stopping me. Sometimes there's multiple things, sometimes there are repeated people. That's something I also take note of, because there are specific people who like bring out stress in me that will come up in my dreams. Like they're not even in my actual life anymore, except one. And I kind of wish you would stay fucked off, please. So sometimes I experience it physically. So like I'll have the same sort of narrative. I'll know that I need to do something or I need to get away from a situation, but I will physically not be able, like I can move, but it's almost like if you've ever tried to walk through knee-deep water, you know, that kind of resistance, how hard it is to walk through water. It feels like that, like on a regular basis, which is incredibly stressful. Like I even in the dreams, I perceive people perceiving me walking like, and they're almost just sort of like laughing at me, you know, like, sorry, it just made me realize something. Never mind. I will keep that in my mind for my therapist for later. Yeah, so there'll be people around me, but they won't be helping me. Like, no one will want to help me. They'll laugh at the fact that I can't, like, exit from the situation, that I can't make some kind of break for it. You know, they'll always find that very entertaining. Or just, you know, glance and be like, oh, well, not going to do anything for her. So that's the difference between my nightmares and my stress dreams. But I did want to make a couple of things clear. One, I am diagnosed with PTSD, so I know these are dreams to begin with. So I don't want you to think I'm having nightmares, I'm having repetitive dreams, this means I have PTSD. If there are some dreams that are concerning you, that you think might be talking to you subconsciously about something that you need to deal with, maybe if it is in your means, try find a therapist to discuss those with, because that'll be very important. But I'm not saying that all nightmares are PTSD based. I also wanted to share how we came to the conclusion that these were PTSD based dreams. So I have my psychiatrist and my psychologist. So between the two of them, you try and work out, you know, a really healthy sleeping schedule. This is what they'll do if anybody that they see has any kind of issue when it comes to sleep. They'll make sure that you exercise during the day. Exercising during the day helps you sleep. I know it sounds weird, but it does. It tires you out. It gives you endorphins. You know, it's all good for your brain. I do that already. So we're like, okay, tick. I'm away from screens first thing in the morning. I mean, last thing at night. I put my phone down, it gets locked, and I will read my book for an hour. So I'm not getting that blue light, and blue light keeps you up like for longer. It'll keep your brain more active, which will make it hard for you to fall asleep. So check, that one was also done. No coffee after 5 o'clock. I used to drink coffee at all times of day. I've now stopped doing that. But that's a big one. I mean, geez, my brother drinks coffee until like 8, 9 o'clock at night. I don't think caffeine really affects me that much. I really wish it did, because then when I was studying architecture, that would have been handy. But I have stopped drinking coffee so late just to make sure that it's not affecting me. The next thing they would talk about was to do something calming before bed. So not be on my phone, not be scrolling, you know, not watching TV. For me, it's reading. I don't know what other people who don't enjoy reading want to do, but you can find something that's a quiet thing for you to do before you go to bed to get your body into the sleeping moment. I mean, I have scented candles. I have a calming sleep spray that I spray because I respond very well to scents. But it all depends on you. Like, you can figure out what works for you, and maybe your therapist can help you out with that as well. Then I have my meditations. So every evening, once I have finished reading, I will put on a meditation, either with Insight Timer or Headspace. I'll put those down below. They have free and paid options. So they're quite accessible for anybody. I will choose one to fit that particular day. I will lie down in bed, I will get comfortable, and I will meditate for at least 10 minutes before I go to sleep every night. So those are a lot of the things that can help you when it comes to having really terrible sleep. And these are the things that we need to make sure that I put in place before we came to the conclusion. The last one is medication. So obviously not everyone else needs medication. I'm not telling you to medicate yourself for sleep. If you are having trouble with sleep, go to a DAN doctor. whether it be a psychologist, a GP, anybody, go to a doctor. Don't medicate yourself to sleep, please. And using illegal versions, no, not illegal, and using legal versions of sleep assistance, also don't do that, because in the end it's not going to help you. But I have medications that have tranquilizers in them, so I know how long they take to work, and then they will make sure that I go to sleep and stay asleep. So, because before I used to wake up, whenever these dreams used to distress me, they'd wake me up and then I'd go back to sleep and I'd go straight back into it. But now I do stay asleep, but the dreams are still there. So that was an indication to both my therapists that no, these are definitely PTSD based dreams, and I needed to sort out the traumas that were causing those dreams in order to fix it, which is what I'm doing now with EMDR. That is eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. Oh, she remembered it in one go. I am working on a video, plotting out my experience with that so far. And that is a technique that is very, very positive with patients who experience PTSD. Because sometimes PTSD doesn't respond to medication. I just happen to be bipolar at the same time. So I do have medication, but if you've gone through that whole checklist and you're still having trouble, there could be other things that are influencing the way you sleep, and please could you consult a professional about this before doing any other kind of action. So yeah, that's just a little explanation of stress dreams, how I experience stress dreams, how they link to PTSD, and the difference between those and nightmares. I hope this was helpful. If you can let me know, comments down below. If there are any questions that you guys have about things like this, please put them in the comments. It is so helpful for me to know, first of all, what videos to make, and second of all, to be able to help you guys out in any way from the experience that I've had, and also the access that I have to therapists, etc. But until the next one of these little floor chats, be kind to people. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, okay? Wear a mask. I'll see you next time.